All right, howdy. Welcome back to WindleyMania. Of course, the best podcast you never heard of, brought to you by the band you never heard of, unless you heard of it. Congratulations. My name is the best in the world, Andrew Reidner, and with me as always, man's best friend, Devin Hopkins.
These nicknames do not reflect either one.
How are you, Devin?
Doing just fine.
Hold on. Okay, we can't talk about the nicknames every time.
I have not brought this up in quite some time.
Last week.
What did I say?
We talked about how I'm the best in the world, and it is an obvious second coming of Cronkite.
Oh yeah, we did
all
do
that
that.
Jazz. Yeah, I'm the best in the world because, and then obvious, your man's best friend because, you fucking get up in the morning, get the paper, and you when I come home from work, you're just like really excited, scratching on the door. I give you a little bit of kibble, and you lay next to me while I throw on some fucking TV, and you chill out. Man's best friend.
That was one time.
You love when I get that leash out, you get so excited. It's so precious. But how are you, friend? How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey, you know what today is? The day this is what
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
That was the box of shirts that you haphazardly stacked outside the unit. You stacked a heavy item on top of a light item. And it fell down. Best in the world. Best in the world over here. Can't stack.
Okay. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Okay, it's raining outside really bad, and we have the unit door closed a little bit.
It's very intimate, and yeah, it is fitting
nice.
for what today happens to be.
Yeah, today, this episode is going out. Today is...
It's Tuesday. It's Valentine's Day.
One person knows this song, and I'm going to sing it for them. And if you know the words, join me. Valentine, Valentine, won't you be my Valentine? That's where you go. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yeah, are you excited for Valentine's Day?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really.
What do you got planned?
Nothing.
Got a dinner?
Nope.
Got a dinner date?
Nope.
Nothing?
No.
Not even go you can't, you're going to technically we have a few days until Valentine's Day. You don't think you can,
You don't think I can secure a date by then?
Yeah.
I don't think I will.
Is that I feel like that's like a standard sitcom situation episode.
I gotta get the girl before Valentine's Day.
Did you ever watch Just Shoot Me?
A little bit. The David Spade show?
That's exactly what a David Spade Just Shoot Me would be a storyline.
That would be an episode.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, and then one of his friends takes him on a date or something.
Yeah,
nothing planned.
Nothing planned.
Yeah.
So
box of chocolates.
If anyone's listening,
flowers.
I haven't done anything for Valentine's Day in what year is it?
2023.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since I've done anything for Valentine's Day.
Well, hey, we need to change that.
So if anyone's out there that's listening,
if you're listening
you want to go to Red Lobster?
Ooh,
on your dime?
Wow. Oh, that's not. I mean, if they're comfortable with paying,
Olive Garden. It's like Olive Garden.
Chain, you got a big chain.
You want to go to a very fake fancy chain restaurant on your dime.
Yeah.
At Devin _ Hopkins. I think that's my name.
Yeah. He's got 2 underscores because
the other one was taken.
That's not very clever, but I'll take it. But Valentine's Day. But that's not the main thing we're doing today. Although, when I think about Valentine's Day,
You think about me?
No, that's not true. I don't think about you one bit on that day, huh? Actually, I do. I think about, Devin's so lonely. He's so lonely. Oh, poor Devin. No, but you get with your partner and you could go do all sorts, Red Lobster, as you said, or go gallivant on the beach, or go to the movies.
Go frolic.
Or there's a little thing called the Tunnel of Love.
You like the Tunnel of Love?
Tunnel of Love. Although, the Tunnel of Love, I feel like maybe it wasn't. I don't think there was ever a actual Tunnel of Love originally. I think like
That's just what it became.
yeah.
There's a Defunct Land video about it.
What did he talk about it with the wasn't the Garfield one?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
Garfield
People
one.
were like, being real sloppy on the Garfield
On the Garfield ride, yeah.
And he's having like an existential crisis, and then people are just porking on this ride.
There's this like very shocking looking Garfield ride and people macking on each other in it.
Yeah.
But like they talked to like old people that went on that ride before they changed it. And they're like, yes, we used to suck and fuck in the tunnel of love. I forgot what it was actually called.
Yeah.
But yeah, people be doing that in there.
Yeah. So, but that is related to what we're going to be talking about today, which a subject very near and dear to each of our hearts. And I feel like I use that expression a lot, but like near and dear.
Yeah.
Like this is very near and dear because we like to talk about things.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about something that's far and
What?
far away from our hearts.
Yeah.
We usually don't
far
do that.
and vile to our hearts.
Far and vile.
Yeah, you want to? How's your Bitcoin doing? I don't know anything.
My
your
shitcoin?
your crypto, or what?
Your flashlight on your
what
phone
stuff?
is on.
Oh,
It's
that's,
distracting me.
Sorry, or stuff we don't like. So theme parks. Yeah, we're gonna get into theme parks. We'll talk about some theme parks things, and we'll present. You and I both individually made our own theme parks.
We did.
That we would like to see erected somewhere on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
Another thing you could get for your Valentine. Another
thing.
There's you could give it to them and be like, we're gonna do this in a couple months. Is a ticket to April 1st, Turn of Forte, Juxton Roy, Reviler, and Hymns of Blasphemy at the Brick House Lounge.
Brick House Lounge. I am pulling double duty again. I'm going to constantly confuse the staff of the Brick House Lounge by playing in two bands every time there's a show happening there.
Yeah.
It's always two different bands. Figure we'll make it a bit.
So what's the date for that one?
That was April 1st.
And that's
no joke.
Yeah, but you could buy a ticket on Eventbrite, and it's only $10 right now.
Yes.
But the day of the show, it's going to be $15.
Yes. So if you want to save $5, also to spice that up, how those ticket sites, they have that fee. The fee is included in that $10, so you're not paying like more than that.
Yeah.
So it's $10 flat for a ticket for one of the most, I'm pretty excited for it. Like it's a really, really big mixed genre thing that we're doing at the Brick House. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. You should do that.
Absolutely. And then, but in March 11th, don't forget about that as well. Hymns of Blasphemy Circuit, Narcera, and
Merciful Release
at the Next Level Gym. That's March 11th, 8 o'clock, $10. What time is the Brick House show?
Door 7:30, show 8:30.
There you go. 10 on Eventbrite, 15-day a show.
And you can find that. We'll be posting that. We'll post it on our page too, but you'll find it on the Myrtle Beach Shows page on Instagram, and it's on Facebook if anyone really gets on there.
Yeah, and then Windley, the Windley shows. There's what's those shows coming up?
So the Windley shows, we've got April. Oh shit! Hold on, let me look because I'm gonna fuck it up.
I know. Okay, so the locals, you need to circle this one. All right, it's Fresh Brewed, May 12th.
Yes.
It's with Penalty Box, Fallscape, and a Brevity, and that's Friday at 8 o'clock, $10 at Fresh Brewed.
And before that, 3/4 of those bands will be playing at Tualingua on April 15th. So it'll be us, Fallscape, and a Brevity in Charleston at Tualingua. April 15th, doors at 7, $10. Really cool spot. Excited to be back there again. It's actually been over, by that time, it'll be about a year since we last played there. So
yeah,
excited to be back at Tualingua. So yeah, let's go through them again in order.
Yeah. March 11th.
Next Level Gym.
Next Level Gym.
Hymns of Blasphemy.
Okay, April 1st, Brick House Lounge, Turn of Forte, Eventbrite. And then April 15th, Charleston, Tualingua, Windley, Penalty Box, a Brevity. right?
Windley of Brevity, False Cape.
Oh, sorry. And then May 12th, Fresh Brewed, Windley, Penalty Box of Brevity, False Cape, Fresh Brewed. All right. And so
we got it.
Hopefully you wrote all that down. We should have wrote them down earlier.
Yeah, because we did them all out of order, and then we did it in order. So
what
hopefully,
a fucking train wreck.
hopefully you go to the right places on the right days and expect the right bands. So don't go to Fresh Brewed on April 1st and say where's
But all this information will be at Windley_band, and then
oh, did we say Reviler? Reviler's playing April 1st.
At the Brick House, and at Myrtle Beach shows on Instagram now, so you can keep up with all that. So, anyways,
to the nitty gritty.
Raining really hard. This would be terrible weather for what we're about to talk about, unless you're a sicko. And legitimately like to get sick. What
is your favorite theme park before we talk about ours?
Well, my favorite theme park. Well, I mean, I've only been to like a handful of theme parks.
I haven't been to like a lot either. We've been to the same ones for the most part.
But here's the thing. That doesn't stop me from being a theme park enthusiast and learning about the history of all these parks.
Yeah,
and,
we're both, I've been about that stuff for like a long ass time. Like as long as I can remember. Like I was obsessed with going to the amusement parks here, like the Pavilion, and Family Kingdom not as much until the Pavilion closed. But I played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, so I was all about it.
I don't like those games. It's
too
much
like those
work.
Games?
Too much work.
I like them.
Yeah,
I like them a lot.
Too many buttons. I can't. That and the Sims, those things stress me the fuck out. I can't handle that.
Those were two of my favorite games.
Favorite theme park. I don't. I can't. I like the history of Epcot, but I don't know if it's my favorite theme park. I love like the remnants of like old Future World and stuff. Although the last time I was there, it was like all fucking construction and shit.
Yeah.
The World Showcase isn't, too bad right now. The only thing I would really complain about that is that fucking Frozen ride, which I don't really like it.
There's a really good picture of me and you on that ride. Just
bored
looking
as fuck.
unenthused as fuck.
Yeah, I
gotta dig that up.
Yeah,
and then there's a really precious picture of me and you at Epcot too.
Oh yeah, the wine thing.
And there's like I remember people just like giving us like really weird eyeballs.
I wanted a picture with my friend and at Epcot.
I got I got a man bun. I'm rocking a man bun in that picture too.
Iced coffee.
It was hot.
It was a little warm, yeah. But I would say my favorite. I don't like. There's parts of Magic. I don't know if Magic Kingdom would be my favorite theme park, but if Frontierland in Magic Kingdom in Florida was its own thing, I think that would be my favorite. I love Frontierland. I love. There's a specific bench out in front of if you were at the line of Big Thunder Mountain and you turn around and you go down these steps, there's a little tree and there's a bench right there, and you can look over the lake with the Mark Twain boat, and then there behind you's the strip of the not the Golden Horseshoe. What's that? There's another restaurant there, the Country Bear Jamboree. But there's a bench right there. Oh my, that is like and they got the loop music for Frontierland playing. It's just all the little guitars. That's my favorite. That's a very warm spot in my brain. That's the part I like. But however, my favorite ride is people might complain is like that's not really a ride, but it's a carousel.
It's
a carousel. So technically, by all technicality, it is a ride, and that is the Carousel of Progress, my favorite ride of all time. Last time I was there, it's in very poor condition right now.
Didn't you say that it played the same scene twice?
It played It played the first scene when you're in the 30s.
Yeah.
Twice. Or not the third. It might be earlier. I know it's my favorite ride. I just forget the time.
I think it was around 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
They don't really say, but it's just kind of like,
we're gonna take that newfangled trolley cart down there to the soda shop and get ourselves a sarsaparillas. Yeah. That they it played that whole scene and then it did the song and we weren't moving and and they were like, they came over the intercom and they were like, please stay seated. It's, we're experiencing technicalities.
And what did everyone do?
They got up and left. I stayed put. I felt my girlfriend who I was with kind of try to get up. I was like, no.
You have to learn.
And then we were blessed with an encore of the first scene of Carousel of Progress. And I was so delighted. I love the rest of that ride, but I love that first scene specifically. Just the hoity-toityness of it and the scenery. I don't know. I really like that.
I like the
ride.
song.
Oh, the song. No, there's two songs. There was the original song that says, "Now is the time, now is the best time, now is the best time of our lives." And now it's Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Beautiful Tomorrow.
And
remember the band Feller that played here a long time ago?
Yeah.
They did a cover of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on it was some Disney compilation. They had like posted it, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "We should get in on that."
Yeah.
That's when I sent you the thing and said, "Let's do one little." You said, "Let's do one little spark," and we never did. But yeah, they did. They did the Carousel of Progress song. It was pretty cool. I don't know if any of those guys listen to this, but shout out to Feller.
Sure. Absolutely. And but anyways, Carousel's my favorite ride. Specifically Frontierland. Yeah. But here's the thing. I can't say for sure because I've never been to Disneyland. I've never been to Knott's Berry Farm, which I want to go to. I want to go to Knott's Berry Farm more than I want to go to Disneyland. That sounds absolutely fantastic. They're the Calico area and stuff.
I kind of agree with you. I'd like to see because Disneyland's of course it's it's Disneyland, but Knott's Berry Farm just seems so cool. I want to go to Dollywood real bad too.
I went to Dollywood as a kid. I don't remember much from it. I remember there was a Garfield celebration.
Garfield has just invaded every theme park at one point or another.
Yeah, and it was Garfield. It was Garfield's birthday, and there was like a live show. And but Dolly, I would like to go back to Dolly Parton. They've added a lot since then. I've never been to the universe. Well, I've been to. I went to City Walk, which I got there about 20 minutes before it was free parking, which kind of pissed me off. It was like, come on. But I've never been inside the park. I was going to go pay a ticket to ride E.T. But I've never been there. And then Carowinds is another in the pavilion, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What about you? What's your favorite park, favorite ride?
I don't know. I might have to actually give it to Magic Kingdom just because it's a kingdom full of magic. But
sure.
But I do have like the good memories of going to. I guess you could pick the pavilion if closed ones count. I just have really good memories of going there with my grandparents and my brothers a long time ago. So, and I think I went there more than all those other places. So
sure,
that one's probably in my heart. That's probably my favorite. Just
yeah,
amusement, all the memories and stuff.
Amusement,
but. If you're talking big theme parks, probably Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the ride?
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain. How do you feel
about what?
Well, I mean,
Splash Mountain.
Can't ride it no more.
Well, I rode it 15 times with you last time I was there. So,
yeah.
And the last time we rode it, do you remember? We got fireworks when we got to the drop, and we were both like, "All right, that's a good way to end it."
I did ride it an extra like 5 times last time I went.
Oh, yeah, because you went with Savannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with my family at the end of the year. I'll just go walk by and look at it.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Princess and the Frog.
That's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that too.
'Cause
I mean,
like-
it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same ride.
I like that movie.
It's just gonna be different. This is gonna be themed differently.
That fucking alligator's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And then you know that alligator's going to take all the bear parts because he's big as fuck too. And, you know, I like the old swing. I'm going to like that. I know that fucking, the music loop's going to be.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. The only thing that, like, I guess thematically it's kind of weird, at least in Florida, just because it's in frontier land, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like right when you get out from adventure in the frontier. So, I mean, thematically, I don't know if like they're going to be playing like swing music out there while you're trying to like immerse yourself in like the West. But, you know, I still think once you get in there, I wonder if they're going to change up that, like, you know, when you get right on the log.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to change, you know, how it's all wood and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to change that into
to like
like
a swamp, to more swampy.
either a swamp or maybe like a New Orleans row of houses
Oh yeah.
sort of thing, or like, you know, something like that.
Because I know they're gonna do a restaurant too. Because that fits.
Oh, yeah.
That fits with the movie. Because she was opening a restaurant in the movie.
Well, they have the restaurant in there. I wonder if that'll be. That'd be cool if it was like. I haven't looked at anything from it since it was announced. But in California, there's the Blue Bayou, and on Pirates, you ride by the Blue Bayou restaurant.
Oh.
So I wonder if it's going to be something like that. I don't really know where you put it because that fucking ride is so like condensed and weirdly like squished.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They'll figure it out. They'll create more space somehow.
Yeah, and hopefully it matches Tony Baxter's original what he said about Splash Mountain. It's 10 minutes of sheer terror and anxiety, and then 5 minutes of complete ecstasy.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's one way to describe
It really is.
slowly floating by a boat of a bunch of animals singing as ecstasy.
They're all singing.
So, yeah. And then I guess we kind of talked about the Disney parks. But what about Universal? Can you give me some Universal insight?
Dude, Universal.
Never been there.
I've been 3 times. The first time I went, the Back to the Future ride was still open.
Oh, man.
So I got to ride. It
I
was
love
like
that.
the last week.
Did you ever eat the Doc Brown's chicken?
I did not.
I think our friend Justin told me about the Doc Brown's chicken.
Yeah, I think he told me about
It's
it
very
too.
odd that Dr. Emmett Brown, the inventor of the time machine, would
Also
have.
has chicken.
I invented Marty, you gotta try this fucking chicken. Unbelievable.
Doc, I'm late for school, Doc. I can't.
Marty would get it. He would want grilled chicken.
Did he want?
'Cause
Can
he-
you make it grilled?
Yeah, you got grilled chicken. I'm trying to watch my finger because he always drank Pepsi free.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a dietary thing or if he was just like, he was a very nervous guy. Maybe he didn't want the sugar.
That's true.
But
I think because now it's the Simpsons area, and I think there's the Cletus's Chicken Shack, and I think someone said it was the same thing.
oh right,
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I could have just pulled that out of my ass, but
you could.
have.
I believed you.
Since I'm talking about the Simpsons area of that park, this will stem into my part of the theme park that I created.
Okay.
I had an idea a long time ago. Remember, I don't know if it's still like this on Fox, but Sunday nights was Animation Domination.
Yes, sir.
So I had an Animation Domination park that I wanted to make a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I just stemmed it off of the Simpsons area because it was already built and it's already like kind of perfect. I don't really have any better ideas for that.
Well, would you have like a Quahog?
I
And,
had
it would be Bob's Burgers now, right?
there's a Bob's Burgers area that I have that is essentially it takes the Wonder Wharf Park it's in the series.
Uh-huh.
What else did I have here? There would be like a 3D live, like either a live show or a 3D like show of like Gene and his music stuff. And of course there would be the restaurants there. But the Family Guy one I had would be Stewie and Brian's Multi-Dimensional Mayhem.
Oh.
And it would be like a kind of like a fast-moving dark ride that turns into a coaster at the end.
Yeah.
And it kind of follows the same premise of that one episode where they kept going like through time with his time machine thing fucked up. So you kept going through like different dimensions.
Yeah.
And so it would just go through all of that. And they would just kept getting caught and shit. And then it would be like just kind of crazy and hectic. What else do I have? Oh, there's an American Dad, Stan and Roger's CIA alien encounter.
Oh, that's good. Would it be like Alien Encounter?
That's basically how I imagine it.
But it's Roger in the tube, and he's like,
he's basically trying to save Roger. You have to still shoot at everything to like try to save him.
Oh, so it's like Men in Black.
It's the Men in Black, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the Men in Black one. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
And what else did I have?
I don't know.
There's a drunken clam bar.
Yeah.
And then the Griffin house would be a gift shop. So that was one of mine.
Is that one of the ones you're presenting?
That was one of mine that I was presenting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just thought I would stem off of that while I was on the subject.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Speaking of, are there any theme park rides that don't exist anymore that you wish still did?
Knights in White Satin, The Trip. From our beloved Hard Rock Park.
Hard Rock Park, which is in Myrtle Beach, made by the Sally Corporation, based out of they're out of Jacksonville, right?
I think.
But yeah, if that was did you ride that?
I did.
Can you explain to the listener what?
So, I was like, okay, so 2008. That puts me at the ripe old age of 10 years old.
Yeah.
So, Knights in White Satin. It was a Moody Blues themed dark ride. It was supposed to be an acid trip.
Sure.
What I don't know. I guess what you'd think of I've never done acid.
No.
So, but I came pretty close, dude. I rode the trip. So I'm pretty much there.
Yeah.
Pretty much get it.
You've done acid. You rode the trip.
I rode the trip, dude.
That's like I feel like that's more intense than actual acid, right?
I wonder if there's probably it was only open for like a year and a half, but I'm sure actually no, it wasn't even open that long. It was open for like a summer.
6 months.
But I'm sure someone did some psychedelics and rode that ride.
Probably.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think you have to wear you have 3D glasses on, so it makes it's like a bunch of neon paint and a bunch of swirly stuff, bunch of weird there's like Moody Blues music playing, and it's real like just echoey and dissonant, and then everything's coming off the walls and shit, and it's just a real slow ride.
Well, isn't it just the one song?
Yeah.
It's like, I love you. Yeah.
There's a video of it on YouTube that doesn't do it justice.
No, I don't think it would.
I saw it and I experienced it in real life, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish it was, I'm sure like over the years it would have either just deteriorated and been a piece of shit, or they would have kept it up and like upgraded the technology as time went on. Because I'm sure by now it would have had like the AR headset.
Oh, well, I don't know if they would.
If it would have been successful, if it would have lasted instead of being leveled and turned into a FedEx hub, we would have augmented reality Knights in White Satin the Trip.
When it changed over to freestyle,
it turned into a piece of shit ride.
Yeah, what was it? Monstars
of Rock.
Yeah, and they had Frankenstein and the Dracula.
Yeah,
and it was just all cut. It was almost
like cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, just like a black light sort of dark ride. And but actually, when it closed, when it was abandoned, you could go in the back there, and there was like employee offices, but they had the cutouts like in the hallway.
Oh yeah,
from that ride.
I remember seeing it was like, oh yeah, actually yeah. Was that the Bright Sun Films thing?
It might have been him. Yeah.
Yeah, because they went into that building after years like last year before they tore it down, and there was still so much shit in there from the park.
Yeah, I never went to Hard Rock proper. I only went to the preview center.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
went to the preview center like every time I, hung out with my dad. I wanted to go to the preview center, and it would just go through like different eras of rock and roll.
I remember.
And there was like a 70s room where you could play Pong, and also there was what's the name of the guy who was like in charge of the whole project? John.
I forgot his name.
It's killing me. But regardless, the one thing he was really, really, besides the endeavor with the park, he was proud about these speakers, these special speakers that would play like loop music in the park, but they wouldn't like bleed into other areas.
Yeah, that's right.
So they had a showroom for these speakers, and so they had like on the carpet, they had like, the name of the land, British invasion. And they had like a spotlight down to the carpet, and there was like, 5 or 6 of them. And when you stood passed out of the light, you didn't hear anything. When you went under the light, you heard the music because the speaker was playing specifically like down at you. So it was pretty wild. And I guess that's sort of like how like it would work in the park.
I remember the preview center, but I forgot about it. I don't remember that. But I do remember hearing about how he was like, these speakers are cool. And everyone's like, yeah, great.
Great.
Cool.
And they had the little model of Led Zeppelin, the ride, and then the TV that would play like the 3D model of it. That's definitely something. Just what a wild summer that must have been in 2008 or in 2009, 2008,
2008, 9. Remember the sandcastle outside?
Oh yeah,
That did not. It was supposed to be like Elvis, John
And Bob
Lennon,
Mar-
Bob Marley, but it was
yeah.
like and Jimi Hendrix. But it looked like just Bob Marley just looked like Whoopi Goldberg. There's no other way to put it. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
did not look like any of those people.
Yeah. And I remember later on, right before the park opened, they had the entrance opened up to the public too. Like you can go past the gate and go to like one of the first gift shops, and they had that all like set up. So that was the closest to the park I ever went, and that was something else that I truly do wonder what a day at that park would have been like. More so in my adult brain. If I was at a kid brain, I wouldn't want to ride anything. I was terrified of roller coasters.
I did not ride the Led Zeppelin ride, but I rode the other one they had there. They had it was called like Maximum RPM. And
did you ride the Eagles one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Life in the fast lane.
Yeah,
Played that the whole time.
Yeah.
Everything had a massive weight.
Sure.
The Maximum RPM ride, it was like little Mini Coopers, and you took like a Ferris wheel lift to get to the top. The ride was literally like less than a minute. And we waited like an hour.
The technology on that ride alone with the car.
It was always broke. It was like
it always break.
The time I went after that, it was broken down.
Yeah.
But I think that's also why the wait was so long. They had so many difficulties with it.
Yeah.
And I think there was like the DJ guy when I was there, because there was a DJ in the line, like playing music and stuff. But
they had the roadies stunt show.
I remember watching that. There was I remember one part specifically, like it was like a band playing, and they were mean to one of the roadies because he kept trying to like play guitar in the band, and then they were like, "Hey, you can't play guitar. You go get my guitar case or whatever." And then he like moped off, and then the band left, and he picked up the guitar, and he was like, I don't think he was actually playing, but he was fucking shredded. And then they started being nice to him. They let him be in the band.
Hey, what was what do you think the worst ride you've ever been on was? Like just fucking waste of time or just completely unenjoyable?
Probably this like shitty haunted house ride that I rode at the South Carolina State Fair. It was a piece of shit.
Did I go? Which one was that? Was that the one here at the speed park?
This was in Columbia. This was at
okay,
Williams-Brice.
Oh.
I forgot what year it was. I went with it was probably like 2011.
Yeah.
That's probably when that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a piece of shit ride, and me and my brother,
Nothing
dad rode
charming about it?
Absolutely nothing. Me and my dad and my brother rode it. We were just laughing at it the whole time because it was just a pile of shit. It went around like a figure 8 path, and then it was over, and there was like just like pictures on the walls, essentially. Nothing like jumped out at you at all.
Oh,
It just
I
kind of
think
like
I
made
would've
shitty
loved
noises.
that. Oh man, that sounds great. I love those shitty little.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, dark rides.
But yeah, like as far as like real attractions, I can't think of any. But that ride definitely was not fun.
Mine would have to be the worst ride I ever been on. Was the least enjoyable ride is the. Now I feel like I'm being too cruel about it because I guess it's for little. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's for like younger children. It's supposed to be sort of like a dark ride, and originally it was like this very lush and ambient attraction, and you explore a whole new world that's closer to you than you think. It was originally called the Living Seas.
Oh, the Finding Nemo ride.
Now it's the Living Seas with Nemo.
Yeah.
That ride is atrocious.
That ride sucks.
The line is phenomenal
Yeah.
because you're on the beach and there's the little seagulls and then you slowly start getting underwater and it's really cool. And then you get on the fucking ride and like I have nothing against like what they would call like book report rides, like sort of like Peter Pan's Flight.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a retelling of the movie, but it's there's a whole bunch of, craft and technique and, your mind is being shown an illusion.
It's a great way to start your day at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. But this fucking ride is just atrocious. I mean, like you just fucking, you don't even turn around. You face one way and you see one, like, I guess, like a set piece technically, which the sunken ship.
Yeah.
And then you see a little bit of the aquarium, and then you're get the fuck off. I don't like that ride.
I didn't like it either. I remember because we rode it.
I would prefer the whole thing to be dark, because I feel like it's bright in there too.
Yeah, I mean it's for kids, I guess.
But I would rather if it was just dark and you like go past the whole along a bit of aquarium. Maybe you see some of the people in the back, like kind of like Living with the Land. I think that'd be. I love Living with the Land.
Living with the Land's great.
That's you talk about starting your day. That's a Epcot start your day.
Yeah.
We're going on Living with the Land. That's a very enjoyable experience, I think.
Just sit there.
Yeah, just fucking chill out, look at some plants, greenhouse. Gets real hot in there, but it's a
You
good
get
experience.
to see the people working.
Yeah. There they are. What are they doing?
They're researching. They're scientists.
There's that fucking.
They're doing science.
There's the hose that's like tangled up to look like Mickey Mouse, and there's always someone on the fucking boat with you. Go, oh, Mickey, hidden Mickey, hidden Mickey. Yeah, but shit, man. Do you want to talk about your theme park that you got?
My other one was both of mine were using pre-existing intellectual properties.
Okay, well, your first one was animation.
My first one was animation domination.
Okay.
My other one is the World Wrestling Entertainment.
The World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah,
Okay.
WWE. Because Disney or Universal's going to own them in a few years anyway.
So you want to go ahead and jump
So they're
the gun.
they're gonna shoehorn this in the park as well as they can.
Interesting.
So you got the Dead Man's Crypt, which is Undertaker's
Well,
haunted
hold
mansion.
on. What's the name of the park?
Oh, I don't have a name for the park. I forgot about that.
Oh,
Forgot
okay.
about that park. But
Where is it?
let's think about it. What's the name of the WWE park?
You
Let's brainstorm this.
Would it be? Is it like a whole park, or is it like a fucking,
I don't know. I didn't have like a whole park. I had pretty much like a section of a park made.
Okay. So it's a land.
It's a land.
I see. Interesting. I don't know. I guess it would just be called fucking WWE Land.
It would be WWE land.
Or
Let's go
call
with
it fucking New York. Yeah, or Connecticut. Stanford.
It's
Call it Stanford.
It's Stanford.
Stanford.
This is Stanford.
It's just that's the name of the park. Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got Dead Man's Crypt.
Yeah, you never know. I'm gonna get a call from Stanford. Never know.
Never know what could happen
Never
in
know.
WWE land.
You were on TV once. What do you mean? You're 58. I heard a story about a guy.
About who?
I heard a story about a guy who was on WCW for not very long. He worked maybe 3 or 4 matches, and he still gets booked on independent promotions, and he doesn't do any jobs. He's like, you never know when you might get the call, which is not an uncommon thing. But anyways, go ahead.
So the Dead Man's Crypt is the Undertaker's haunted mansion like dark ride.
Okay.
We would have that. You've got the Rock's Know Your Roller Coaster.
Hold on. What's the Undertaker ride called again? I want to elaborate on this.
The Dead Man's Crypt.
Dead Man's Crypt.
Rest in peace.
When the crypt doors creak and the tunnels quake. I would rather have if I was going to do it, I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump all over your stuff.
We can work on this because it's kind of like.
I would want to do an American Badass ride. We're on a fucking motorcycle and you're listening to Kid Rock.
Yeah,
and that's the Undertaker ride.
That's the Undertaker ride.
Yeah, it's just a fucking. It's kind of like Top Gun the ride where there's like very minimal theming and you just fucking go on.
You're on a motorcycle shaped like roller coaster ride thing.
And then fucking with the bottom and while you're going up the hill. And then
you got Kid Rock.
My name is Kid, and then you fucking drop.
Yeah.
When he says Rock.
You got Kid Rock.
And this is the Undertaker ride.
And you gotta have Rollin' on there.
Sure. Yeah. It alternates. It alternates. Yeah.
But that's good because it's like there could be two Undertaker rides.
Yeah. I mean, he's
a
pretty famous guy.
Pretty famous guy. You gotta have a dark ride. You gotta have a roller coaster.
Yeah.
There's two different versions of the Undertaker.
And all the people working the line.
They all have to dress like that, and they have to do the eyeball thing.
They have to do how many?
This way.
This
18-year-old girl. This is her summer job, and she has to dress like the Undertaker.
And then what's the next ride?
The Rock's Know Your Roller Coaster.
That's good. That's pretty good. And what would
I think I imagine that one like as like just a wooden coaster.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Just like a really like just aggressive wooden roller coaster. Like really not fun to ride, but fun to ride.
And then the hills are like his eyebrows. And then they have like, you know how like the Incredicoaster before that, it was the what was that?
It was like the Mickey
Screaming California or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. But then, like, his eyes are on the side of the wood, and then his eyebrows are the hills. Yeah. See,
that's it.
Yeah. It is coming down out there with rain.
Down.
Go ahead.
You're gonna have. There's got to be like some kind of Suplex City, like spinning ride, like some kind of crazy thrill ride.
Okay.
I didn't really elaborate on that. Did I have another one? I had a John Cena roller coaster called the Attitude Adjustment. Or some kind of John Cena ride called the Attitude Adjustment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
had two half ideas that I like pulled out of the deep recesses of my brain from years ago because I like thought I had like two fleeting thoughts like, oh, there should be an animation domination theme park. Then I was like, whoa, there's gonna be a WWE theme park. What will be in that? So I was like, how can I elaborate on that?
Interesting.
So I just had two like half ideas.
I'm trying to think of I can't think of a wrestling ride I would want. I guess it would just be like the fucking like Burning Hammer, and it's the Kento Kobashi ride, and it's fucking a roller coaster, and you basically like the roller coaster is so painful, you basically like each drop on the ride is supposed to simulate the pain you would feel like from an orange crush, and then he did the Diamond Head once, which almost killed someone, and a fucking moonsault, and then the last drop killed you the most. It's the Burning Hammer. That's what it would be, and it plays this.
You got to build your New Japan park.
Well, he was an All Japan and Noah guy.
Oh,
in his main career.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the wrestling fans out there.
But there was a WWE ride. Technically, it was like a drop ride. They used to have a store. I think it was in Canada, and it was basically like a drop. I think it was something like the suplex, or I don't remember.
It should have been called the Tombstone Pile Driver.
It might have been a pile. I think it was the Pile Driver. I think that's the name of the ride, and it was basically a drop ride.
Yeah.
So
that's like the best name for that sort of ride.
Yeah. So that was your two parts.
Those are my two half
Stanford.
Stanford and Animation Domination.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
They could be at the same park.
Mm-hmm.
They could be two gates at the same park. Because,
Yeah, someone's going to own all that shit.
someone's going to, one of the, some,
Well,
there's
Disney's,
gonna be, there's gonna be
Disney's
one
halfway
company.
there.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
all right. I would like to present my park.
I'm excited to hear your part because it's probably way better than mine.
I thought about it because I was like, Devin, let's make some theme parks.
Yeah.
And then I
Because
thought,
you already had one.
no, I didn't already have one. I was like, I thought of the idea of like, hey, we should make some theme parks. I think it'd be fun. And then, I like to set a goal and pressure myself.
Yeah.
I like to procrastinate and then fucking get it done. And that's what I did here. I took something that I obviously, I'm a themed experience enthusiast.
Yes.
I'm not a Disney adult. I'm a themed experienced enthusiast. I like the old men who made. I like old men, bro. I like the old men who made the fucking. Could you imagine? You're an old guy, and for fucking 30 years, all you've done is make cars.
Yeah.
And then one day, your boss calls you, and he's in fucking Switzerland, and he says to you, Bob, I'm gonna need you to build me a mountain. That shit, and then he fucking does it. You know what I mean? That shit's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm a themed experience enthusiast. Now, the idea I had is something I'm very. I like. Okay, we got it. I like theme parks, and I like comic books. I like wrestling. I like movies.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what do I like? And I thought about something that, like, I think if I were to travel into a world, if I wanted to be immersed into a world, what thing would I really want to be dealing with? And that would be the world of classic American film noir. So I would like to present my idea for a theme park. And I have a little picture I made.
Yeah.
It's called Noirtopia.
Who's that?
That is Humphrey Bogart, and he'll be going by Bogey, his nickname, back in the day. And of course, we'll post this picture. I just kind of drew up the Humphrey Bogart. It says Noirtopia. It's a crime-ridden, melodramatic, convoluted fun. Because if you're not familiar with classic American noir, the height of it was in the 1940s. 40s. Sorry. And it was these films that mainly in black and white. There are color noirs.
Yeah.
There's neo-noir now. Did you know that?
I did not.
But you're basically brought into usually something to do with crime, and it's very melodramatic. It's very, sometimes there's a lot of characters, just a shit ton of characters that have very specific things to do compared to like your main leading players. It's very convoluted because all it ties together, and then it ties towards the end. The noirs, and I love noir movies. I love Humphrey Bogart, and he's known for a lot of other movies as well. That doesn't have to do with noir, but one of the more famous noirs is The Maltese Falcon. Mm-hmm. So I thought, if the public were to embrace Noirtopia, which I would like to reveal the location of where I would like Noirtopia to lay at the end of this presentation. It is very important to a factor of the park. What was I saying? Bogart I feel like he's a very iconic guy. People seen him everywhere. Casablanca, The African Queen, High Sierra, stuff like that. Maltese Falcon, Dark Passage, Key Largo. All these great movies. I feel like this would be he would be an appropriate face of Noirtopia.
So we walk around Humphrey Bogart.
There would be a walk around Humphrey Bogart. Also, this would be in the United States the one themed experience that will allow smoking. You can smoke cigarettes to your heart's content here, because that's what Humphrey Bogart and all these other great actors and actresses and all these people who put their heart and soul and blood in these movies did. They smoked. God damn it! They smoked 8 cartons a day, sometimes 20, whatever it took to put these beautiful stories on our screens. Okay.
You think noir? You think cigarettes?
Absolutely. So, let's go ahead and get started on some of these attractions. Here I have a map.
Oh my God!
So,
you went hard on this. I did not.
So, this map needs to be slightly updated because I sort of like. It fits fairly well to what I would imagine it to sort of be, but of course, but of course you have Noirtopia. I'm going to be going through it a lot. We got to hit all these places.
Yeah.
So I know it's very hard to imagine, folks. I assure you will get the visuals on our social media, but for now you're just gonna have to follow along to the sound of my voice. And so
a guided tour of Noirtopia.
Noirtopia, yes. So you enter Noirtopia. There's the tickets you see in the entranceway,
Yes.
and you enter the world of Nightmare Alley. Of course, let me get my notes out because I have several notes to remember these things. By you enter the world of Nightmare Alley, which of course was remade really recently with some actor. I think Benedict Cumberbatch, maybe. I never saw it. It was the 1947 Tyrone Power stars as Stanton Carlyle, who is a down on his luck guy who gets tied up into the circus world, and then he learns a very special trick from the people who brought him into the circus, and he starts a con where he can communicate with people of the dead. So here, when you enter Nightmare Alley, you can go to the circus fairgrounds, which is basically your old time, carnival. You see the strongmen, the fucking lion tamer, all these games, guess a height, guess your weight. Little people. They would call them geeks back in the day. These circus freaks. And to your right, there will be a restaurant, the Seance Ballroom, which we might, I don't know, we'll call it the Tyrone Power Ballroom for the leading actor, sure. And in there you can experience a real-time show where someone will communicate with the dead. So Devin or anyone out there who wants to talk to a dead person, by so God,
you'd be like a medium in there.
Yeah, a medium, yeah. Exactly. And yeah, so that's the Nightmare Alley. It's sort of like a Main Street USA sort of vibe when you go in, and it's an alley, of course, of nightmares. All right, so we can go left or we can go right.
Let's go left.
You want to go left? All right. So you basically can go straight. You can go straight and go to the right, or you could go left. When you enter left, you enter the world of Thieves Highway. That's correct. Thieves Highway is a Richard Conte stars as a guy who returns from his travels to find his dad is now paraplegic, and he can't work anymore, and so he buys a truck. You basically go into the underbelly of fruit and vegetable market, and so I forgot the one character's name. He's gonna have another. There's another restaurant named after him. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Richard Conte's character gets a truck, and he gets these beautiful apples that are worth a lot of money. And he's going to take them to the market and try to get them sold so he could have money for his dad and stuff. And he's being chased down by Jack Oakey, who was a comedic guy, and he plays a character named Slob.
Slob.
But he goes to the fruit market and he encounters Lee J. Cobb playing Mike Figlia. And Figlia is sort of like the kingpin of this fruit market. And you can explore the fruit market featured in Thieves Highway. You can go get yourself I forgot I have so much shit for this,
It
dude.
looks like it. You got a whole novel here about
you can
Nortopia.
You can go to fruit market and you can go to Figlia's and try his delicious fruit, or you can pick yourself up a Richard Conte Cristo. Okay, and then also, since a lot of the film takes place with Richard Conte and the Jack Oakey characters, and I forget the other fellow's name, but they're riding delivery trucks. There's a truck ride similar to Autopia, and so you get to ride in your own truck, and with the apples, and then you can pass all these things from the movies, like when the one truck runs off the cliff. And you see the field of apples and a dead body, and you go by the bar where Richard Conte confronts Mike Figlia, and it's a very exciting ride. And if you were to continue up left, you enter the world of Northside 777, which was based off Call Northside 777, and this is a very interesting area because the three attractions here represent movies that Jimmy Stewart starred in. You know, Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life was his big movie. So he's like, he's got a very distinct voice. So let's see, and but the movie Northside 777. It's about a guy who's wrongfully in prison. It's Richard Conte again, actually, in prison, and he writes a letter how he's like wrongly accused, and so Jimmy Stewart is a reporter at the Chicago Times, and he gets in contact with Richard Conte's mother, and then this becomes like a whole news story, and then it leads to James Stewart's character basically proving the innocence of the Richard Conte character. And so there's an attraction where you can learn about newspapers, because I like old, the thing about old Epcot was it was
educational.
Edutainment.
Edutainment.
You had like Kitchen Cabaret where you learn where to eat good stuff, yummy, what was the song? Veggie Fruit?
Yeah, Veggie
There you
Fruit.
go.
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth where you learn about civilization. So newspapers is
this called newspapers?
Newspapers is where you learn about newspapers, and it's very educational.
What do you do? Is it like you
learn about newspapers and how they're made?
You just ride?
Yeah.
Love it.
And then you can ride Vertigo, also starring James Stewart, where of course he's experiencing spinning.
Is this a teacup ride?
There's a fair of, yes, exactly. But it's unique because not only do you spin on your teacup in Vertigo, but one of the characters is deathly afraid of heights, so you go up and down on your Vertigo teacup. Isn't that special? And then there's also another James Stewart. He sort of pops up more towards the latter half of the film, but a very famous film called Rope, directed by there's arguments whether it's not noir or not, but I feel like it fits enough. It's in color, but there's definitely things that would allow it to probably be considered noir, such as like the characters and the
right.
But Rope, these two, more specifically one character who is very full of himself, wants to play the most intellectual challenge and try to get away with murder, kills one of his colleagues and hides him in the trunk, and then invites all of his friends and his former teacher, played by Jimmy Stewart, to a dinner party. All the while, Halts the while. Is that
Was
a
that you just made up a word with your theme
all the
park.
while? The dead body is in this trunk present at the dinner party. So in Rope, it's basically a bungee cord. You're outside the apartments and you're on a bungee cord and it's like a drop ride, you see, and it's like you're on the rope. There you go. And then at the bottom, there's like a trunk where you're falling in, and you don't want to get in the trunk. You want to not be in the trunk because you'd be trapped in the trunk. All right, so you go back around, you go back through Thieves Highway, you go up, and you go into the world of Mexico. Oh my God. I think we're good.
I think we are. We usually are good when that happens. Yeah.
All right.
Mexico.
So you go into the world of Mexico, which this is going to be one of our e-ticket attractions. Now, folks at home, do you know what an e-ticket attraction is, folks at home?
Yes.
No, you don't. Unless you do, then I apologize. But an e-ticket. Okay, so basically, like Disneyland used to have your ticket books. You could go into the park for a very low price or for free, and then you buy a ticket book, and so you had a ticket for specific rides. So A would be like the King Arthur's Carousel, and then it would move up B, D, or B, C, D, E, and then E would be like your shit like Jungle Cruise or Pirates or something like that, where it's very exciting. You want to ride it, the Matterhorn. So this would be our and that's a term still used in themed experiences.
By not Disney adults.
Where it's a very exciting ride.
Very big ride.
So this is of course you would go to Mexico to ride Touch of Evil, the ride.
Touch of Evil, the movie.
But don't
the
forget,
ride.
Touch of Evil was a 1958 movie directed by Orson Welles. The big guy.
The big guy.
Big guy.
You big guy.
And so on the in Mexico, you go on the Touch of Evil, the ride, and you're in a car and you're crossing the border, but you got to get across the border really, really fast so your car doesn't explode. Because in the opening of Touch of Evil, a car bomb goes off as a car's crossing the border.
So you got to beat the
Yeah,
bomb.
you got to beat the bomb, and it's a very fast thrill ride to the border. But also in Mexico, you could find things like the photo booth, I forgot her name, but Jeanette Leigh's character. There's a picture of her that goes around, so it's kind of like that aspect in the movie, where some guy randomly takes your picture at the photo booth, outside the photo booth, and you can experience that. Or you can get yourself an Orson leg.
Instead of a turkey leg?
Well, it's a turkey leg, but it's an Orson leg.
It's an
Orson leg with a big guy, so, there's a turkey legs.
It's Orson's third leg.
All right. We're doing all right here. Are we tuckered out?
Everyone following along?
Everyone following along?
I can visualize everything. I've
We're
never seen
almost done.
these movies.
Hey, let's go all the way down here, right?
Where's that?
We're going out of Mexico now.
Okay.
We rode Touch of Evil. It's fantastic.
Yes.
We're going to go down to Hangover Square.
Okay. Going to Hangover Square.
We're going to Hangover Square, and we're going to go to the pub. Now, Hangover Square, a fantastic movie. 1945. Laird Krieger plays George Harvey Bone. And George Harvey Bone is a composer, and he's undergoing these fits, sort of, where he loses his memory conveniently after he had murdered someone. You go to the pub, and it's like the pub that what's her name? Linda Darnell. Her character is like a burlesque sort of dancer, and that's what this pub sort of themed after. And you can go there, and you can sing and jaunty tunes, and you can watch a little burlesque show. It's very pleasant. And then there's the park, where every hour it's Guy Fawkes night. And Guy Fawkes night, it's November 5th, and there's a big bonfire and it's a thing that happens in the movie where our lead character had knocked someone out or murdered someone actually, and in the bonfire
they whacked.
They take these basically scarecrow-esque things and throw them in the bonfire, and our character throws his victim into the bonfire.
Oh shit.
And so there'll be that every hour in the park.
It's a real person.
Yeah. And so and then you can watch it's in the vein of sort of like the Great American Adventure.
I took a good nap in there.
Well, and this is very similar. You can go to the George Harvey Bone Theater, and you can, like in the final acts of the movie, you can go watch him premiere his concerto, where he plays piano, and someone knocks over a gas lamp, and the whole building goes on fire, and he remains to finish out his song, and essentially burns alive. And there's a theater where you can go watch an animatronic do that, and the whole building simulates being burned down.
They couldn't find an actor to sacrifice himself every hour.
Oh, we're gonna get a robot. Robots are cool. I like
robots are the future.
All right, we're gonna go northward, and this is where our old friend Humphrey Bogart, Bogey. This is his little area.
Shout out to Bogey.
It's called Bogey's Bonanza. And there's a couple things. There's sort of like Soarin', where it's the Maltese Falcon flight. You see?
Right.
And you ride on the back of your very own Maltese Falcon, the little statue thing. And I wrote something differently. I guess I changed ideas. Right here, I wrote that the Maltese. I guess you know what? This is a better ride. The Maltese Falcon flight's going to be a carousel where you ride your own little Maltese Falcon. And you get a cigarette.
Even the children.
Yeah. We're going to forget all the... I thought the soaring thing, because in the opening, there's a very, 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 very cool, like, stark, like, opening title for the Maltese Falcon. Yeah. Arthur Edison, the cinematographer of the movie, kind of crafted this whole thing where the reflection of the window pane is on the floor, and the camera, like, fucking slaps down onto the ground. It's a very cool image. So I guess I wanted something similar like that, but I kind of like the carousel with the cigarette too. Also, for a little thing for kids, there's the Dark Passage Face Fun. And you can be who you want to be at the Dark Passage Face Fun, where they do face painting.
You get a cigarette.
You get a cigarette too, because in Dark Passage, Humphrey Bogart's character escapes prison. He's wrongfully accused of murdering his wife. It happens. Sometimes you're just wrongfully accused.
Jeez, I just hate when that happens.
And then he shacks up with Lauren Bacall's character, and
nice.
He
good for him.
In order to evade the police and everyone, he has facial reconstruction surgery. And it changes his face, and then he takes the towel off, and it's Humphrey Bogart. Ah. So, you get your face paint, and it seemed like the little, like, shitty little apartment he got it done in. and you get wrap on your face, and you take it off, and you're someone else.
What cigarette company has their brand plastered all over this park?
The highest bidder.
Highest bidder?
Newport.
We want to thank every show. There's someone we want to thank it's like Newport Cigarettes proudly presents.
Yeah, and okay, so and then the other ride in Bogey's Bonanza is another e-ticket. A very exciting ride. It's called Key Largo, the ride. You see what I did?
Yes.
And Key Largo, of course, is a fantastic movie.
Key Largo, and the ride.
Humphrey Bogart gets out of the army, and he goes to his friend who died in the army. He goes to his wife and the guy's father's Hotel Largo. And while he's there, a big storm's breaking out, and then a gangster, Johnny Rocco, played by... what's his name? Edward G. Robinson. He breaks in. He's basically doing no good mop things, and they escape by boat. Johnny Rocco takes Humphrey Bogart's character out by boat. And,
Humphrey Bogart?
Yeah. And he escapes. So in Key Largo the Ride, you visit the Hotel Largo, but are taken hostage by Johnny Rocco and his goons, and you go for a crazy boat ride out on this body of water that is conveniently at where this park is located.
Oh.
Yes, sir. So those are all the major, basically, you know.
Can I hold the map?
Yeah,
I just want to look at
overview
because you went hard on this, and I went soft. I will admit. I wish I would have went harder.
That's okay. Because I'm not done.
I know you're not done. You're never done. If there's one thing about Andrew is that he's never done.
I'm not done.
He keeps going.
Because I want to reveal the location
Noirtopia
of this place, and I want to reveal the last attraction.
Okay.
That is a partnership. Now you can see it's kind of a small park.
Yeah.
And there's a body of water. That map needs to be a little slightly adjusted. So basically, I'm putting this park in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
And it's going to be specifically at the Daly's Place, parking lot J.
All right.
There's a nice, convenient body of water there, and it's right by the Daly's Place.
Yeah.
Now, why would it be by Daly's Place? Now, one of your parks was wrestling related.
So yeah, all Elite Wrestling's headquartered right there around that area.
They're based out of Jacksonville.
They're based out of Jacksonville, run by the Kahn family.
Right. And they ran
Jacksonville
Daly's
Jaguars.
Place a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like this would be probably this is my favorite film noir movie.
Yes.
Right. What this whole attraction could be based off. So essentially, it's right there in the parking lot. Noirtopia is, and then there's a partnership with All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
And they're gonna change their dark shows
To noir.
to noir. And AEW presents noir.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're going to have their special called Night in the City, based off the 1950 Night in the City, where Richard Widmark plays Harry Fabian, who's a semi-club owner, and he's a con man, essentially. And then he gets into wrestling, and he wants to be a wrestling promoter. And things go I recommend this movie. It's actually fantastic. Richard Widmark is one of my favorite actors, second to Bob Hoskins. But I absolutely love Richard Widmark, and this movie specifically is one of his best performances. It's a great movie. It has to do with wrestling, and he gets tied up with a Gregorius Christo.
Gregorius Crisco?
Christo, he hates how wrestling is turning into this modern style, and he wants to keep it Greco-Roman
Like that,
style.
like the gym teacher in South Park?
Yeah.
That ain't wrestling.
Yeah. So,
Sir, you can take your gay porn and
so
get out.
you go from Noirtopia, and you can go over there and watch a wrestling show, AEW Noir. You see? And that's why it's in this, and you can look it up.
That's why it's in parking lot J.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the location.
Yeah.
Florida's got the theme parks. Why not one more?
Sure.
Noirtopia.
So that's my park,
God
Noirtopia. Hopefully that was listenable. I know it was a lot,
It was a lot.
but
I'll have to watch all these movies so I can appreciate.
I don't know if a lot of people have watched these movies.
I haven't seen any of these movies.
But write down all the movies I wrote down and watch them. They're all fantastic.
Key Largo the Ride, Touch of Evil Coaster, Employee Quarters,
Yeah.
Concert Hall, Nightmare Alley looks like a penis. How you have it drawn. You got Truck Ride, looks like a vagina, and the penis is going to the vagina. You got a little horned up.
I'm not an architect.
You are.
I'm not Bob Gurr. I'm not Bob Gurr.
I'm excited.
I can't build that mountain, Walt.
I Noirtopia. I can visualize it now.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Absolutely. Noirtopia. Whew. There's a lot. But I don't know.
When you were talking about the whatever, I forgot what movie it was already, but when you're speeding across the border, you said speed.
Touch of Evil.
Yeah, I was like, there should be a speed ride where you're on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be a straight line.
Oh, that'd be sick. And you're on the bus.
You're on the bus.
And you know how like you have like usually like in Universal they always have like the tour guides and stuff. You have a tour guide and they're like, oh, they're freaking out. You're like, we're on a regular bus ride.
Yeah.
And then they're like freaking out and they jump off the bus and then it explodes right there. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Kind of like when that lady jumped, remember, in Speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
If she jumps off, I'm blowing it up.
Yeah. And then
it would it would be set up similar to how that. You've never been to Universal? They had a ride called Disaster, where you were in the subway train, and shit like goes down.
Oh, I've seen video.
Yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
That's a Fast and Furious ride.
I've seen video of that. It looks like dog shit.
Yeah, but I think Speed would have been better. If
Sure.
they were gonna go that way.
Yeah. And then like a teenager plays Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a teen. Well, no, never mind. I was gonna say, what if there was like a theme park ride and it was a Dennis Hopper teenager and he's playing the Dennis Hopper character in Blue Velvet and he's huffing the gas but that character does a lot of inappropriate things that probably wouldn't do well in
this teenager that makes $9 an hour. It's the same.
Then that would require another teenager. Well, or you could do it to people, but I don't know. If you've seen Blue Velvet, you probably don't want that in a themed experience. So, anyways, I guess we're going to wind it down now. Are there any final thoughts on theme parks?
Love them.
Yeah, they're great.
Love the theme park.
I hope to go to Dollywood again soon.
I would love to go to Dollywood. I remember one time I tried to route a tour for us that was routed specifically for us to go to Dollywood.
Yeah.
And I think that was the COVID year. So that didn't happen. We didn't go to Dollywood in 2020.
Damn.
But I had it written down. I had like dates written and like people to hit up for that, and it just never happened. So maybe another day.
So I hope you enjoyed these dumb theme park ideas. I wore myself out doing that. Woo! I feel a little lightheaded. But hopefully it was listenable, and hopefully if you didn't get any of the references, because I know these movies are like 80 years old now, so I apologize, but whatever, dude.
There's probably a couple people that sat through it.
Yeah.
People like to hear you talk.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Speaking of, there's some people I do like to listen to talk. I want to actually, I didn't get around to it last time. I think it was too late or too early. I forgot. But Coffee and Wrestling, our buddy Jade Koth from Bozo, hopefully a future guest of the show. He introduced me to this podcast called Coffee and Wrestling. And I randomly finally decided to listen to them. I finally got around to it. I turn it on, and then out of the fucking blue, they're saying nice shit about us. Old Mark and Jamie over at Coffee and Wrestling. So I want to say, I said thanks to them on like the Instagram and stuff, but I'll say thanks again to them now. So, because if you like podcasts and you want to listen to another podcast, listen to them because they're cool. It's a very comfy listen. They're seem like very sweet people.
I'll have to check it out.
Check it out.
I'll check it out.
Thanks again for saying those nice things. They did it twice.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you sent me one of them?
I sent you. I was like, look at this. And then the next week they said more nice things. I was like, we can't believe this.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jade is spreading that jam. So he says.
Yeah, he likes to spread jam.
He's spreading that jam.
Yeah.
So we're spreading that jam. Go listen to Coffee and Wrestling.
Yeah. So, yep. If you ever need, hey, you guys ever need someone to talk about Dragon Gate or New Japan, hit me up.
That's the guy.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's all.
That's all we got.
For more Windley crap, follow at Windley_band. Go to WindleyHubBlogspot.com and
follow at Myrtle Beach Shows.
Follow at Myrtle Beach Shows. And Is that it?
I think that's it. We
All
talked
right.
about the shows earlier.
Ta-ta.
So
yeah,
we're
yeah.
done.
Go to all those shows. Have a good time.
I got a potty.
And yeah, me too. So I'm the best in the world, for man's best friend. So long. Good night.